miss you. We love you. And I hope you have a fantastic, amazing, rock the house, the best ever presentation of your life. And no one can do it better than you. It's just rock your socks off. Is that a saying? I think so. I love you. Say bye, Daddy.
All right, so we are heading to the event that's happening at Levi Stadium where the 49ers play, which is really exciting. And typically, whenever I'm on my drive to the event, what I like to do when I start getting closer to the venue, we're probably about 10 minutes away from the venue, I start visualizing what's gonna happen throughout the presentation. So I know my presentation, I've studied it, I know what story I'm opening with, I know what transition points I'm gonna make. And then what I do is I run through that in my head, so it's kind of like muscle memory. But so I learned this from athletes. So a lot of athletes, they'll practice in their mind, like they'll shoot free throws in their mind, or they'll go run through the plays in their mind. And I remember watching this cool video from Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. Actually, they, I guess, had the same guy that taught him that when you run the plays through your head over and over, you can actually slow the game down. So when they were playing basketball, for them, they were like the game slowed down and they could see where the ball was gonna go before it went there because they ran through it that many times in their head. So I liked that idea a lot and that concept of it, so I started applying it to speaking. So I started running through the presentation in my head, like, I'm gonna say this, and when I say this, the audience is gonna respond this way. And when I say this, the audience is gonna respond this way. And when I lean in this way, they're gonna lean in. And then I'm gonna end here, and when I end here, this is how they're gonna get into this emotional state that's gonna allow them to take the action that I would like them to take because they spent time with me. And I run through it over and over in my head, and I kind of just see it flowing kind of from a first person perspective. And the more I do that, and the more I've done that over, the last over a decade, the funny thing is it actually starts happening. You start seeing what's in your head come into the real world. So I encourage you before you do your presentation to not just go, all right, I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna do my presentation, I know what I'm gonna say, but literally run through it. Imagine the smiles, imagine the serious faces, imagine the tears, imagine the energy, imagine the host coming up to you afterwards and going, that was the greatest presentation that we've ever experienced. We're gonna do this and this now because of it. Thank you so much for being here. That's very, very important because I think the more you do it, the more you get to it. And the only caveat, or the only thing that I'll say is, you don't run through it in your head and see the people leaning in and smiling so that they tell you how great you are. That's not the reason that you do that thing. That's the mistake. The reason why you get them to lean in and smile and you're visualizing that whole process is so that they get led on a journey that creates a better life for themselves, that they create a more happy way of being, a more skilled way of being. And I need to take them through this emotional roller coaster so that their life improves. So I encourage you when you're doing this to make sure that you're not visualizing it so that people are just patting you on the back and telling you how great you are, but they're coming up to you saying, my life is better, thank you. I'm going to do this now because of this. This was a great experience and I have this. That's what you want to visualize, because then your mind is in the right place of service. It's not in like self-congratulations, which is what 99% of speakers do. They just are in it to look good and sound good and have people tell them how great they are instead of really being in the business of changing lives. So we're gonna hopefully go through an event that we change a lot of young people's lives today. Ever since you heard, I think, Kanye West say stadium status, the dream has always been, I remember when Biggie back in the day, he said, what did he say? The line, it was like sold out to hear Biggie Smalls speak. I always remember that line, and I was like, man, that's the dream. The dream one day is to make, personal development something that's as cool as a sports game. Like to make it like, I want people to be as excited about improving other people and improving their lives as they're excited about filling a stadium to watch a playoff game. So that's the vision, that's the goal of it. It's gonna take time. You gotta make it sexy, but I think I think it's moving in that direction. You look at like the Gary V's and the Tony Robbins, they're making this kind of stuff sexier, which is great. Hello, good morning. Arel. Hello.
Arel?
Nice to meet you, Veronica. A-R-E-L. So you run track? You can't go in the grass, you get killed. High school, college? That's real grass. Get set, go! When you did what everyone else does, right? The first time I told you to give a high five, it kind of went like this. That was hot though, right? No energy change. But when we did what most people won't, don't you feel significantly different? What that feeling is, just so you know, it's called being alive. Whether you were nervous, whether you were excited, you want to be in that place. When you walk up to one of these adults, I promise you, do me a favor, all the adults, I'm looking at you, will any of you punch them in the face? None of them. No, not you students punching the adults. The adults. We've cleared them, okay? They have to go through security. None of them are violent humans. So what that means is, take advantage of this opportunity. A lot of times people think that whatever they're going to do to become successful, they need to be really smart at it or be naturally gifted, or it comes to them and they don't have to work hard at it. And what I found is that the most successful people actually have either discovered or have always known that effort is everything. That if you're super smart and you put in effort, you'll be in a good place. If you're not smart and you put in effort, you'll still be in a good place. So the key to achieving any goal is to put in effort. And then the beautiful thing is that if effort is everything, everything is learnable. Everything is learnable. So if you're not good at science or math or whatever it might be, you can still get good at it with effort. We're here on Levi Stadium where the 49ers play. We just had an incredible event. We had over 1,000 young people here, and this is a dream come true. And here's the cool thing about speaking, is that the more you do it, the more lives you get to impact. And what's cool about it is that you get to impact lives positively while you get to experience great things. So you get to do good while you do well. And I believe that is the key to life. If you can do good and do well. I mean, for me, my face is on the Jumbotron here of an NFL stadium, which, you know, is just the symbolism of it is incredible. To be a kid from the projects on welfare in Brooklyn, New York, to impacting people across the country is just a dream come true. So if you have a dream and it means something to you, under no circumstances do you give up. You do everything you humanly possibly can to make it come true. There's just people who are counting on you, and you deserve to live an incredible life.